they were watching the listings and then calling. It's just basically just getting on that phone and doing the work, right?
It's cold calling, and that's what I used to do when I sold residential real estate, and I used to go door to door and call expired listings. So it's the same thing. It's just a numbers game.
Okay. We have somebody who's asking, did you work at a different job when you started flipping, or did that first flip that you do like turn into your full-time job?
Well, I sold residential real estate. That's what I did since I graduated from college, and then from there, I was still selling residential real estate, but then I started doing flipping, and ever since I started doing flipping, I haven't sold any residential real estate besides our own flips.
Your own, that's great. But I think for the people in the room who maybe they're not currently a realtor, do you recommend, that there's a certain point where they can cross over? Do you have it like an intuition of when that is? Because obviously they don't want to quit their job, which is paying their bills while they're doing this. I mean, is there a certain point where you think they can flip over from one to the other?
I think everyone's situation is different. It just depends if you have savings or if your spouse. I think that's a hard question to answer. Everyone's situation is different. I think you each will know when it's time when you can completely just do only flipping.
You said something really interesting about this team of people that you have now that's doing the cold calling. Do you recommend for people getting started that they just kind of do it on their own? Or should they try to maybe team up with some other people where, like one person's doing this, one person's doing that, and they collectively work on the deals together? What's your intuition about that?
In the beginning, when I first started, it was just me and Tarek, and we were both doing all of it on our own. I was also doing the accounting, I was doing the marketing, we were driving around, we were doing auctions, but then once we started doing a couple deals, then we were able to bring more people in who were doing the prospecting, we were able to hire an accountant. I think at the beginning, you just do everything you can, and you just work as hard as you can. Like I heard Magic say, work as hard as you can for those 3 years and let your family know that they're going to have to support you as you're trying everything, and from there it's going to get better. And that's so true. That's the same thing that I've told my kids, and it really does work.
Yeah, it is a process, you guys. It's not going to happen necessarily overnight. But like you said, this business is amazing because one deal can so change your life. One incredible deal.
And it really does happen quick. Like the first one is hard and you're nervous, but it's also really exciting. But from there, it just gets easier, and you find a system, and then all of a sudden you have 5 going at once, and then 10. And it really is a really fun, rewarding job. Like every single project is exciting. There's never a dull moment, and you're just excited to go to work.
Yeah, exactly. There's some people that are asking about wholesaling because maybe they're not in a position where they don't have the capital to do the flip and have the money to do that. But if they find a property and can wholesale it to an investor, can you elaborate a little bit about how that works for people who really don't understand that could be a great way for them to get started, like wholesaling it to another investor?
So for example, you're out there, you're prospecting, you're coming across deals, but you don't have the money. What we did, because we went through the same situation, is we were finding these deals, and then we just started sitting down with people that we knew and showing them, like, look, here's 5 deals, here's all the numbers, this is what we were finding. We would actually track them and be like, look, this is what they sold for. And that way they were comfortable knowing, like, okay, these two really know what they're doing. From there, you can start. And a good example of somewhere to go is the auction, because everyone there is looking to buy a property. So if you're at the auction and you go up to an investor and you're like, look at this deal, this is what I have it under contract, if you can make it quick, $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 depending on the deal by just turning it over to someone that has the cash.
Right, okay. I have another one coming in. What is the biggest mistake to avoid when doing a flip? There's probably more than one, but
I think just hiring the wrong people. We've had contractors that we should have got referrals on, that we got ripped off. When we started doing out-of-state flips, we were just finding these contractors, and we would give a deposit and then they would disappear. So I think getting references is so important, and actually make sure you call them, and that way you're holding yourself accountable and making sure that you're not just hiring someone on a whim.
And speaking to that, because I know when I started local and then I went out of state, out of state is harder because you can't monitor what's going on. Do you recommend for people that at least they're maybe in driving distance, even if it's 2 hours away when they first get started, so that they can actually kind of physically be there and know what's going on?
I think 100% when you first get started, it's very important that you can check up on the house. At our first probably 20 deals were within driving distance.
Okay, great. There's another one coming in, and it says, do you give yourself a deadline for preparing a property to flip after purchasing? Well, I kind of think you have a deadline, right?
Yeah, well, every flip's different depending on the type of scope of work it needs, but yeah, quick flip, 30 days, more extensive, 60. The really longest we want to be in one is 90 days.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, this goes back to the training aspect that you spoke to earlier, and I think maybe you could just share with everybody, because just again, a little bit about what you did to educate yourself and even to continue your education. Classes or trainings that you recommend on top of getting a real estate license, and the benefits that helps you with for the business of flipping and all of that. Maybe you can talk about the educational aspect.
Yeah, so a few years ago when Tarek and I were flipping, everyone was asking us, how do I get started? How do I get started? So we prepared a seminar company that teaches everyone our systems, which we've changed throughout the years. And Brian's actually coming on stage after me, and that's a great way to get started. He's an amazing coach and mentor. And the good thing about that too is everyone else in your program is just getting started as well. And it's a good place to meet people and talk about what you're experiencing and find an accountability partner. So just getting educated is really important.
Well, that's fantastic. And Brian's going to be teaching a lot of your strategies. That's fantastic. Oh my goodness, like having you, it took me just like right there to do the mentoring. Awesome. I think that is everything. Do we have any more questions? Oh, okay, so just for fun, is there a deal somebody wants to know that got away from you or went wrong? One specific deal that you can remember that got away? The one that got away.
No, I mean, there's deals that we bought when we were first getting started that would have like a foundation issue, which is a little bit scary.
Yeah.
We come across this a lot, and they can get really expensive. When we were just buying, that's a mistake that we made. So I would just be careful with foundation issues.
Okay, absolutely. And then just to finish up, just, from your heart to the people here who they have so much passion for wanting to do this, but they're a little scared, a little nervous. Some people are 20, some people are in their 50s. I mean, maybe you could just share a little bit of word of inspiration to the people there who really would love to be you sitting in this chair and teaching hopefully someday.
Yeah, I got started when I was in my 20s. There was nothing special about me. I just was motivated to get out there and be my own boss and be able to make a large amount of money and have no ceiling. And I just jumped in with both feet, and that's the most important. Like, you just gotta go for it. No excuses, don't look back. There's 1,000 things you can make up in your own head, and you just gotta remove all that fear. I talked about writing it down. Another thing I highly recommend is make a vision board. Just go online, cut out all your goals, stick them on a pin board, and look at them every single morning, and I still do it. I just redid mine, and it's huge to just see all your goals right there. And when you get up